toward Olympic history. Phelps in the 400-meter individual medley. Now we go live to Dan Hicks and Rowdy Gaines. Dan?
Thank you, Bob. Just an electric atmosphere here in what could be one of the best races, not only here at the Cube, but at these entire Olympic Games. It involves Micheal Phelps, the world record holder, who has not lost this race in 6 years. He is the clear favorite. And this coming off 4 years after the 8 medals, 6 gold, 2 bronze in Athens, but he is set up for these games much better than he was in Athens 4 years ago. First of 5 individual events for Phelps, but he calls it his toughest race because he's got his American good friend Ryan Lochte just a couple of lanes away from him in lane 6. There is Lochte, much more laid back than Phelps. Lochte says it's going to take the perfect race to beat Phelps, but he told us, Rowdy, at the team's training camp in Singapore, I know I can beat Micheal Phelps. I know I can get it done.
And he has been looking so dangerous over the last couple months, and he has a lot left in the tank to be able to pick Phelps up here toward the end. Both
went under the world record at the U.S. Olympic swim trials in Omaha, but Phelps just out-touched him. You already heard Bob mention the focus here. The president here, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, is here, and look at all of the focus on the final of this men's 400 IM as we set the lanes for you. In lane 1 from Canada is Brian Johns in his 3rd Olympics, as he has made his first Olympic final. In lane 2, one of 2 Hungarians in the final here, Gergo Kish. He was 7th at the European Championships, but had a good prelim swim, lifetime best by some 3.5 seconds. In lane 3 is Italy's Luca Marin, 3rd at the World Championships, behind Phelps and Lochte. And in lane 4 is Phelps, who says this race is so important because it sets the table for the rest of the Olympics. And you saw how emotional Debbie Phelps got 4 years ago when her son picked up his first gold medal. He's looking for career gold medal number 7. And there is the man that laid out that plan when Micheal was just 11 years old. And next to Phelps in lane 5 is Laszlo Cseh. He's the 2nd Hungarian in the field. He was the bronze medalist 4 years ago in Athens. Can he get it done, though, in the big moment? He's had a tendency to not swim his best races, especially when Phelps is in the field. And there is Lochte right next to Laszlo Cseh. In lane 7 from Italy, Alessio Bocciato. 4th in this event in the last 2 Olympic Games. He also swam a lifetime best in the heats. And rounding out the field in lane 8 from Brazil, Tiago Pereira, former training partner of Ryan Lochte and the Pan Am Games champion last year. Well, Rowdy, 4 years ago, you said that Micheal Phelps was going to be much better this time around in Beijing. This is the 2nd of 17 swims, though. Break it down here for Micheal Phelps in his 400 IM.
Well, I think he's going to be about a 2.5, 2 seconds ahead of Lochte at the fly. That's his best stroke. Lochte's weakest stroke. Lochte will move up on him a little bit in the backstroke. Both of them, they're about even, but Lochte will make his move on the breaststroke. Much improved in that breaststroke. And if Phelps falls behind too much behind Lochte going in the freestyle, it could be tough to catch him, although Phelps is the world record holder in the 200 free.
So here we go, 2 lengths of the pool in each of the 4-stroke disciplines. You were surprised that Phelps went out so quickly in the prelims, in the heats. He set an Olympic record, but that's kind of Phelps's way, his statement of saying, all right, everybody, I put up the best time, and it was very impressive. Let's see what you can do on that in the final.
You're right, Dan. That's exactly what he did. He wanted to be seated first. I just don't think it was that necessary, especially when you start getting to this 13th, 14th swim, to be that fast. It wouldn't really matter if he's in lane 6 or lane 3. But it's all not going to matter. If he goes 402, 403, he's going to make us all look like a bunch of idiots.
After Cseh had the lead at the turn there, Phelps has quickly asserted himself here. He has a great ability to focus, he says. I don't want to lose. That's the thing. If I don't want to lose, I can really focus. Looking very smooth here after the first 2 lengths of the pool and the fly. Phelps with the lead in 2nd is in the middle of them in lane 5.
Boy, this is so important for Micheal Phelps to keep it close. You do not want Ryan Lochte to get away going into this breaststroke. Phelps actually came back on him a little bit on that 50.
Very impressive. Phelps regains the lead after the backstroke as they go to the breaststroke, and this is the stroke, if there's a weak one for Phelps that he's been working on, but he's gotten so much better in this stroke.
Well, you know, at this stage, I'm not sure any of these top swimmers have a real true weak stroke, but Micheal Phelps could have a problem here, especially since Ryan Lochte right up there is so much improved in the breaststroke. He is so good right now in this stroke. Might be his second best stroke, but look at Phelps. He's hanging on. Believe me, if Phelps goes in with a lead, the great ones always find a way. And you said it, he hasn't been beaten here in 6 years. You've watched Tiger Woods hit that winning putt. This is where Phelps, boy, look at Micheal Phelps go.
Phelps is Tiger in a Speedo, hates to lose. He's got the slight lead on Lochte. Chad has fallen off the pace, and as expected, it's turned into a battle here between Lochte, a couple of lanes up above on Phelps. And again, Lochte needs to be ahead going into that freestyle,
well,
or he's going to have problems.
Well, I thought he would. Now, did Micheal Phelps put out just a little bit too much in the freestyle? I'm not sure he really did. Now, Chad right between Phelps and Lochte could give Lochte a run for his money, but Micheal Phelps with a full body length lead looks really good now.
And that's where he's improved so dramatically from 4 years ago. Just rockets off the turn. And Phelps looking for a career gold medal, number 7 in complete command. Lochte is battling Chad. You can see a couple of lanes above Phelps. Phelps way ahead of the world record line. 4:05.25, that was the world record that Phelps set at the trials in Omaha, and he's setting up to obliterate it here.
Well, he's breathing to his right so he can see exactly where he's at, and he's been building each 100, so that second 50's gotten faster with each 100. He's going to break the world record, gold medal number 1 for Micheal Phelps.
We mentioned that this race would set the table for Micheal Phelps. He was worried, everybody was worried, but no problem for Micheal Phelps. New world record and gold medal number 1 of these Beijing Games. Laszlo got the silver ahead of Lochte. Sigh of relief, Rowdy, to get this one in the books. Lochte faded to third. President Bush, his daughter Barbara, First Lady, see Micheal Phelps start off about as good as you can possibly start.
I wish he'd be breathing hard right now. He could make it look like he worked hard. He really looks so smooth, so good. At the halfway point, Lochte really started making his move. You see Lochte down there. Here's Phelps. But boy, Phelps just swam the perfect race because he built each 100, which gives you so much confidence going into the next 100. And so he was right on in the breaststroke. He just made it look so easy. And then watch this last turn, guys. Locked out. He's engaged. He uses those large quad muscles to come off the wall. He doesn't flare up. Doesn't go quite as long as he is used to going, but he didn't need to.
And the Americans continue a tradition of gold medals in this race, 4th straight. And Micheal Phelps successfully defends his gold medal with another world record. And again, has not lost this race in 6 years. Here's what Debbie Phelps was feeling like during the race. Micheal didn't need much encouragement, and about that time, Mom knows he was going to pick up his first gold at these games, and you saw how emotional she was when he got it done 4 years ago. But wow, has the bar been set even higher for Beijing.
Sisters Hillary Whitney.
Career gold medal number number 7, 3 away from becoming the greatest Olympic champion of all time. Career Olympic medal number 9, and we've just begun with the superlatives. Let's go down to Andrea Kramer.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, you said this is your toughest race, but the look on your face was you wanted to savor the moment. What went through your mind with gold medal number 1 here?
Coming off the last wall, I was excited. Kind of emotional now getting through the first one, and it's exciting. I'm really happy.
What are the emotions going through your mind?
I tried to find my mom, but I couldn't find her. But there's some crazy, just happy, exciting times going through my mind. You know, just remembering what happened this year and how I got here. I told Bob that this is hopefully my last 400 IM, and he said, well, you got to go out with a good time. And I think that was pretty good for me to go out with.
What was the race strategy? It seemed that you built on each 100.
You know, I knew I had to have a strong breaststroke leg when I saw all of us together. I saw all of us turn together at the 150, and I saw Ryan and I turn dead even at the 200. And I knew if I could overpower the breaststroke a little bit and try to put most of my energy in that, I'd be able to come home, and that's what happened.
You swim the 200 prelims later today in Beijing. How do you hold up over this kind of grueling program?
Eat, sleep, and swim. That's about all I can do. Try to recover the best way I can. Try to get some calories in my system now, and try to get some rest this afternoon.
Michael, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Back to you, Dan.
Thanks, Andrea. You heard Michael allude to the possibility of this being his final 400 IM, because when he does go on to another Olympic Games 4 years from now, the program you see here that Phelps is attempting will be much more pared down. So you're looking at history, folks, in the making, as Phelps takes his first gold medal here in Beijing with a world record in the men's 400 individual medley.